主演のエディ・レッドメインさん、そしてトム・フーパー監督です。
God, it was really overwhelming. They've been so generous to me from when I've started. My Japanese fans have been so kind and generous and loyal. It's been wonderful to actually get to spend a day or two here and to meet a few of them. Oh, do you know what? When I read this script, I was just blown away by the love story at the core of it, and I couldn't believe that I hadn't heard of Lily and Gerda before. And so as I sort of investigated their story, for me it just became like real privilege to get to play someone as interesting and pioneering as she was. I sort of see my mum. I look very much like my mother, and people kept going up to her and going, God, you know, your son looks just like, or no, you look just like your son. And she was like, no, I think you'll find he looks just like me. So, hey there, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here in Japan. It's my second time, but last time I could only come for a day. So this time I'm getting much more of a sense of this wonderful, wonderful country. And thank you for being so generous, and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's the most incredible love story, this very moving story of a marriage between Alicia Vikando's character and Eddie Redmayne. Really at its centre it's a story of unconditional love, because the wife Gerda loves Eddie's character so much that she supports Lily on her transformation, on her journey of transition, even at risk of losing her husband. And that kind of love is beautiful and rare, and I've enjoyed celebrating it in this film. Thank you so much for the support you've given to my last two films, Les Miserables and The King's Speech. I've been honoured that you've taken both those films to your hearts, and I hope you enjoy my new film, Danish Girl, which Eddie and I are here to show tonight at the premiere in Tokyo. It opens on the 18th of March. It's been a real passion project for both of us. It's an incredible love story about two pioneering characters. I hope you enjoy it.
Start here.
Can we ask you to sort of look that way for just a little while?
Yes, hello. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Gombawa, Tom Des.
Konnichiwa. Eddie Des. Arigato.
My relationship with Eddie actually goes back to when he was 22 years old, and I gave him his first part in a television drama called Elizabeth I, Queen Elizabeth I, with the great Helen Mirren and Jeremy Irons. And Eddie played a young rebel who tries to overthrow Queen Helen Mirren. It's not a good idea to try to overthrow Helen Mirren. It didn't work out. But the performance he gave on this day when his character was sentenced to death was so extraordinary. The emotional rawness, the fragility, the vulnerability that he showed marked him out as, to me, one of the greatest young British talents. And there and then, on that day, I vowed to work with him again, maybe one day to give him the lead role. This led to casting him as Marius in Les Miserables, and his Empty Chairs, Empty Tables remains one of my highlights. And finally, my dream came true when I found him the lead role of Lily Elba in The Danish Girl.
When I had been attached to this project for 3 or 4 years, and I'll never forget when Alicia came into audition, and we did the scene which you'll see in the film the morning after the ball. And I was sitting next to Tom, next to the camera, and we played the scene, and I was waiting for Tom to call cut. And it never happened, and I turned to look at him, and there were sort of tears in his eyes, and I was like, all right, so she got the job then. Alicia is absolutely formidable, and was an extraordinary person to share the screen with, and that night, I mean, she was just on cloud nine, and it was such a joy to witness. It was a really, really thrilling moment. We've been having the most wonderful time. My wife and I arrived from Los Angeles, and we woke up the first morning because of jet lag at about 4 or 5 in the morning. So we decided to go to Tsukiji fish market. And we arrived there at 5 in the morning, and we were told that no tourists were allowed. So we'd got up, and then we were told we weren't allowed to go. So instead, we were taken to the Meiji Shrine, and we went there at about 5:30, 6 in the morning, and it was misty, and it was raining, and it was so beautiful. And then we then went to Shibuya. Is that right? Shibuya, which we were told was the busiest place in the world, but because we were there at 5:45 in the morning, there was no one there. So we had, so that was the beginning of our experience, and we've had a wonderful time shopping, and it's been a real treat for us.
トム・フーパー監督、エディ・レッドメインさん、ありがとうございました。